Also trying to encourage more nutrition are community organizations around Mission Hill. They're joining with local restaurants in the Healthy Mission Hill Food Festival, an event scheduled for Saturday. And to tell us about the event are Health Educators Coordinator from Sociedad Latina, Tatianna, Montanez, and the Executive Director of the Mission Hill Health Movement, Maggie Cohn. Thank you both very much for being with us.
Well, thanks for asking us.
I want to start with Tatianna Montanez about why this attention to food in Mission Hill. I know that Sociedad Latina has been on this before around soft drinks, but you're looking further afield this time, right?
Yes. Part of the campaigns that we organize, it really looks at the access that people in low-income communities have to healthy food. And Mission Hill has a lot of great restaurants around, and we even have a farmer's market. But we are really looking into whether or not there are healthy food options for people of color in Mission Hill, and whether or not they have access to it, whether or not they're able to afford this healthy food. So because Mission Hill does have great restaurants, and we do have a farmer's market, we really just want to showcase it.
Maggie, what about the nutrition needs in the neighborhood? And we're talking mainly about people who live in the neighborhood, not just the people who work there.
Sure. There are a number. Diabetes, for example, is a very prevalent situation, a condition that a lot of people in Mission Hill have. And so obviously you need to maintain your sugar. You need to sort of keep your sugar in check. I think there are a lot of nutritional issues that go along with that. Increasingly in the news, there's information about obesity and all of the different health issues that are related to obesity. And so what the health movement is trying to highlight is that it's not all that difficult to find a healthy option when you're eating out. And related to that, we'll be distributing healthy recipes at the event on Saturday and at the farmers markets moving forward. Our farmers market opens this Thursday, day after tomorrow. So also to sort of show people that it's not that hard to prepare healthy food at home, to buy fresh food and prepare healthy food. And if you can manage your nutrition that way, it helps your diabetes, it helps keep other diseases in check as well.
Tatianna Montanez, about what some of these participants are going to be doing at the festival. Are they going to be bringing food, encouraging people to sample things?
Yes, so we have 5 restaurants signed on right now. We have Crispy Dough, we have Lily's Pasta, Walk and Talk. We also have Juan's Convenience, so he's a local deli owner who's started making really healthy sandwiches. And they're actually going to be they're going to be giving free samples of their healthiest options on their menu.
Do you think an event like this changes what these businesses do?
I think it definitely does, and I forgot to mention Mama's Place. I think it definitely does. I think the Healthy Food Festival, when we started talking about it and we proposed it to the restaurant owners, they were really excited, and everyone was excited to do this and showcase what they have. And I think it really helped to push them to think about, well, what do we have on our menu that actually is healthy, or what do we have on our menu that we think is healthy but may not necessarily be healthy. So I think we're really pushing them to think about the amount of fats in their food, the amount of sugar in their food, and whether or not what they're marketing as healthy is healthy.
I think, in fact, I just want to add on, Brigham and Women's Hospital, which is one of the institutional sponsors of this, has offered moving forward to actually do nutritional analyses of different dishes that the restaurants offer. So we won't have that in place for this Saturday, but it is a way for someone who says, oh, I have this, it's a healthy dish, to get it analyzed and say, oh, maybe it's not so healthy. Or maybe something that you don't think of as being healthy turns out to be healthier than you think it is.
Of course, also there's a demand side to this too, because when I go through that area of town, I look at Fridays, I think of ribs, I look at JP Licks, I think of ice cream, and I see Flan O'Brien, I think of a pint of plain. This is not exactly the most nutritious.
Flan O'Brien's has a great vegetarian chili with tofu in it, so.
What about the options for people? Tatianna, you're going to have a farmer's market starting up. You've got Stop and Shop up the hill there. How important is it at least that you have these multiple options for things such as produce?
I think it's extremely important. I think that a lot of people, they might think of farmers markets as being really expensive, or people might not know exactly where they can get healthy foods, but I think that Mission Hill has really great resources. Not only do we have great resources for healthy food, but we have a lot of local health institutions which offer really great resources that we also want to showcase. So it's a Healthy Mission Hill Food Festival, so we'll have food, but we'll also have local health institutions. So Beth Israel Medical Deaconess will be there, Brigham and Women's, Children's Hospital, Whittier Street Health Clinic, and they have really great community programs, and they're going to be there also.
in UMass Boston. There'll be a number of nutritionists from different institutions with information to share with people.
And of course, even just going back to diabetes, we think of that first as a matter of having too much sugar in your system, but there are other kinds of things that can be pretty harmful, at least make that kind of a condition even worse, right?
Well, carbohydrates, which turn into sugars in your system. I mean, there are a lot of things you have to watch that people don't necessarily think about. You know, people drink a lot of soda, and soda is a huge conveyor of sugar into the system. So, and then there's the whole issue, aside from healthy food, of needing to get adequate exercise for diabetes. If you get, the more exercise you get, the easier it is to actually keep your diabetes in check. So it's a whole program of approaches.
Okay, Tatianna, of course, you're concentrating a lot of the time on younger people at Sociedad. Why is that so important?
I think it's really important because young people are experiencing higher rates of obesity, higher rates of diabetes. People of color are at higher risk for obesity, for heart disease and diabetes. And I think we want to be really clear, like all the organizations who are part of this. So it's Sociedad Latina, Mission Hill Health Movement, Mission Hill Main Streets,
Youth Noise,
Youth Noise, the Tobin Community Center, the Johnson Community Center. We want to be really clear that we want to highlight the acts, or we want to highlight the resources that Mission Hill has, but we also want this to be a conversation to talk about health disparities, because it's not that people don't know necessarily what's healthy for them. It's not that they don't know that they need exercise. They might not have access to it. So we want to be just really clear and transparent that this is about healthy access to healthy food, and it's also just about health disparities, because people are not eating or majority of people are just not eating unhealthy food because they want to. They might not be able to have access to other things.
Maggie, we should fill in just briefly here the exact time and place for this festival.
Yeah, it's this Saturday, the 18th, from 11 to 2. I don't exactly have an address. It's in a parking lot on Parker Street in Mission Hill, between Station Street and Prentice Street. So right across from the Mission Main housing development.
It's the Wentworth parking lot. They're one of our sponsors.
It's owned by Wentworth. They're one of our sponsors. And it's probably a 4-minute walk from the Roxbury Crossing T station.
All right. Well,
and in the event of rain, it'll be in the Johnson Community Center in their gym.
Thank you very much, Maggie Cohn.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
And Tatianna Montanez.